Good morning, and welcome to the official Marine Week Detroit Mural Unveiling ceremony. Our marine artists have been hard at work painting since last Thursday, with many more hours dedicated beforehand to the planning and design of the mural you will see today. Long after the Marines have left Detroit, we hope this mural will serve as another reminder of the esprit de corps and indelible mark our Marines have left on your community. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors by the official color guard of the United States Marine Corps, and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem by Marine Band San Diego. The color guard before you is unique. They are the official color guard of the Marine Corps. Our national flag is carried by the 37th Color Sergeant of the Marine Corps, while the Marine to his left carries the official battle colors of the Marine Corps. The 54 streamers and silver bands displayed with the battle colors commemorate the military campaigns in which Marines have participated. They span the entire history of the nation, from the American Revolution to the present. It is the privilege of Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C., to be entrusted with the custody of this battle color. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. Council President Brenda Jones has served the citizens of Detroit as the president of the Detroit City Council since 2005. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Council President Brenda Jones.
Good morning. I'm going to try it again. The sun is shining. Good morning. All right, that is much better, and thank you for joining us today. It is an honor and a pleasure to stand before you today to commemorate Marine Week and the unveiling of a beautiful mural that displays the history of our Montford Point Marines from 1942 through 1949. That was a time when African American soldiers got their chance to be in the toughest outfit going, the Marine Corps. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Executive Order 8802 in 1941, ending unfair labor practice. In 1942, President Roosevelt instructed the Marines to allow blacks into their ranks. Rather than send blacks to the traditional boot camps, the first recruits reported to Montford Point, a small section of land on Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, on August 26, 1942. There, they were trained and prepared for war. The Montford Point Marines, as they came to be known, were some of the fiercest, most disciplined Marines who ever served. They particularly showed skill as artillery gunners while proving that black soldiers could hold their own alongside of whites. Unfortunately, the Montford Point Marine Training Facility was abolished in 1949 after President Harry S. Truman issued Executive Order 9981, which desegregated the U.S. Armed Forces altogether. I am so happy that the Marines chose Detroit to have their Marine Week celebration. And Detroiters have been excited too. Many of our events have gotten their attention and made them curious about the Corps. I've participated in many events myself, with the climax being a ride in the LV-22 helicopter. What a ride, what a ride. Flying over the city and getting a sense of the thrill. It just took my breath away. I will never, ever, ever forget that experience. I wish it was something that you all could have taken an opportunity to experience. Detroit has been designated as a Purple Heart City, and thanks to all who served and gave of themselves. We appreciate the service and sacrifice our veterans and active military have made to preserve our freedom. We must forever acknowledge your gift to us and say, thank you, and thank you. Let me close by thanking our beloved Marines for the hours given toward painting this mural you will see, to ensure that history is left on the walls of Montford Point Marine Corps, right here in the city of Detroit on Joy Road. To our veterans, servicemen and women who are now serving, we salute you for a job well done and for keeping our country free. We know that freedom is not free. We know that all gave some, and some gave all. From the Marine Corps hymn, join me from the halls of Montanza to the shores, join me, you all, to the shores of Tripoli. We fight our country's battles in the air, on land, and sea. First, to fight for right, and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of the United States Marine. Thank you again. God bless you. God bless America. God bless Detroit. I appreciate all that you all have given, and I thank the family of all. Again, God bless you, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I say to our Marines, enjoy Detroit as you continue to be here for the next few days or few hours that you are here. Again, God bless you. I salute you.
Thank you, Council President Jones. Our United States Senator, Debbie Stabenow, has always been a champion for our military members, veterans, and their families. Whether it is healthcare, jobs, housing, or education, Senator Stabenow believes the men and women who have served our country should be at the front of the line. Please welcome our United States Senator, Debbie Stabenow.
Good morning. What a beautiful, pure Detroit day. I want to just start by saying I want that helicopter ride the council president was talking about. Where's my ride, you guys? I want to see it. It is so wonderful to have an opportunity to be here with all of you and to welcome our Marines and Brigadier General William Seeley, U.S. Marine Corps. We thank you. We welcome you. We welcome all the leadership. Lieutenant General Ronald Bailey, retired U.S. Marines. And I want to also particularly say on behalf of all of us who co-sponsored the gold medal for our Montford Point detachment, our Montford Point Marines and the Detachment 158 Marine Corps. It was such an honor to have the opportunity to be in Washington with Calvin Shepard and Robert Hassler and Calvin Moore and our Commander Harrington and all of those who attended an incredible ceremony. And we thank all of you once again for your heroism and courage. Thank you so much. Now, I know it's been a great week. I've been reading about it. I've been in Washington this week and came home yesterday reading about all of the things you've been doing, serving the community and letting brave Detroiters join your morning PT. It really is exciting and an honor to have the U.S. Marines pick Detroit. I know now you're smart because you picked Detroit. And so we've got good judgment in the crowd today. And I know also that you have good judgment because you are here with this mural at this time and giving the recognition to our Montford Point Marines who certainly deserve it. Now, their fights weren't all on the battlefield, as we know. They also fought the forces that suggested African Americans were somehow lesser people, lesser patriots, lesser citizens, lesser Marines. The Reverend Archie Mosley, now age 93, once led churches in Lansing and Detroit. Before he was pastor, he was Corporal Mosley, a Montford Point Marine who proudly served during the Battle of Iwo Jima. As he told the Montford Point Marines Project, and I quote, "When the battle was declared to be over on Iwo Jima, 5 or so white Marines were on top of Mount Shirabashi raising a flag. That's become a great symbol. We like to tell them, well, white boys couldn't have climbed that mountain if we black boys weren't at the bottom giving them supplies and ammunition." The Montford Point Marines, like all Marines, form bonds with each other that are absolutely unbreakable. As Corporal Mosley said, we looked out for one another. We depended on one another. We upheld one another. We took care of one another. You build such a camaraderie that you would give your right arm for your comrades. That dedication to each other and to our country was celebrated as we know, when Congress passed and President Barack Obama signed a bill awarding the Montford Point Marines the 2012 Congressional Gold Medal. And as a co-sponsor of the legislation, I am very honored today to, a little later in the program, have the opportunity to present one of those gold medals to the family, led by Michael Giles, of Nobati Giles. And I know Mrs. Giles and the family are here, and we are so honored to have you here. And I look forward to that presentation as well. I also particularly want to acknowledge all of our Gold Star families. And Sherry Keelan, thank you for being here. It's impossible, as I said to you, to explain loss like this. And I appreciate your courage in coming out today. And we thank you and all the Gold Star families. Soon we're going to get a look at a mural that honors brave Marines who won wars, broke barriers, and brought our military together. And even today, Montford Point Marines keep giving back. I'm not surprised. Giving scholarships to promising students, preserving our history, and remembering all who have served. So today we honor you. We honor all the Marines. We welcome and thank you for choosing the great city of Detroit to spend your week with amazing people, amazing patriots. To all of our military members, our veterans and families, we cannot thank you enough for what you have done and continue to do for our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Stabenow. It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, United States Marine Corps Brigadier General William H. C. Lee III, Director of Marine Corps Communication.
It is truly a beautiful day. We could not have picked just a more better day. And I'm going to use my bad English, a more better day. This is absolutely perfect. So it is an honor to be here, it really is. Senator Stabenow, Senator Gregory, Lieutenant General Bailey, General Deschanel, Sergeant Major Green, Council President Jones. Thank you for allowing us to share this special moment with the community that is Montford Point and the community that is Detroit. Thank you very much. To Commandant Harrington and the Marines and families here at the Montford Point Detachment 158, we thank you for your help and support in getting us to where we are here today with this unveiling. It's truly because of your hard work that we were able to come together for this momentous and important ceremony. I am inspired. I am inspired by heroes, and I am in the company of heroes today. We're here to celebrate the Marine Corps' past, its present, and this mural hopefully will point us in a very positive and uplifting future. I also want to allow and say we're also joined in this company of heroes here with Private First Class's Giles family. Thank you for being here and joining us for this moment. I'm also humbled to be here with the Cavon family as well. Your son, your husband, your brother, Julian, gave his life so that we may be here today. You are with Marine Corps family here today, and that's important, so thank you for being here. This is very special. Heroes inspire. Heroes inspire because they give us something to live up to, an ideal, a standard. Heroes make a difference in people's lives, and they make us think about how we can live up to those ideals and how we can help others and make a difference in other people's lives. That's what we do. That's what Marines do. That's what this community does. Our unveiling ceremony is a core event of our Marine Weeks wherever we go. It is a physical and enduring reminder of what your Marine Corps does but it's also a small gift to say thank you for what you have done for your community. It took almost over 5 months. Our mural team, led here by Sergeant McKelvey, right here, started working closely with the Montford Point Detachment to begin planning for this magic moment. We knew that we wanted to give back to our veteran community here because you continue to give and give so much. But we never could have imagined, although we should have, that our veterans and this community could elevate the ceremony above all others. Again, thank you. We've heard earlier today from our guest speakers, the Senator and Council President Jones, that President Roosevelt established a presidential directive giving African Americans an opportunity to be recruited and serve our country in the Marine Corps. And these African Americans, these young men, came from all parts of the country, from California all the way to the East Coast, Detroit, and Michigan, all the way through. These African Americans went to boot camp at Montford Point, that facility at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And from 1942 to 1949, approximately 20,000 men went through training at Montford Point, of course known as the Montford Point Marines, as we know. Toward the end, the decision was made to allow them to continue to serve. Why? Because they were heroes. Because they broke those barriers, both seen and unseen. They were heroes. They were brave. They were courageous under fire and courageous even in the unspoken element in our environment. They did what all heroes do. They inspired more, and they continue to inspire. It is because of this indelible and valiant spirit that our Montford Point Marines possessed that we can sit here today, and I really believe that. Let me assure you right now that spirit continues to live. Our Marines, some 30,000 Marines are deployed around the world, and your Marine Corps is engaged, ready to stand by to answer the call, just as you have done and continue to do here in your community. I know that you don't want to listen to me speak forever, so I will close with a very important and a quotation and passage from the Bible that means something very special to me. Isaiah chapter 6:8 says that I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? Who will go for us?" And I said, "Here I am, send me." To the Montford Point Marines and the Montford Point Detachment 158, you have heard the call. You continue to hear the call, and you continue to say, "Send me." Thank you for what you have done. You have our Marine Corps' love, respect, and deepest thanks for all that you have endured to secure our freedom. Thank you very much, Semper Fidelis.
Thank you, Brigadier General Seeley. Here, in a short moment, we will unveil the mural. But first, I'd like to introduce the Marines behind the incredible artwork that we will see today. Sergeant Elise McKelvey of Columbus, Ohio, has served in the Marine Corps since 2012 and is the lead artist responsible for designing and painting today's mural. She has led a team of 5 Marines who have been working tirelessly to present the mural to you today. Standing in front of you from right to left are Sergeant Elise McKelvey, Lance Corporal Megan Millott of Rogers, Arkansas, Lance Corporal Tegan Fredericks of Bluffton, South Carolina, Lance Corporal Sarah Ralph of Lovettsville, Virginia, Lance Corporal Alexander Sturdivant of Anchorage, Alaska, and Lance Corporal Luis Quinones of New York, New York. Today's mural was inspired by the Montford Point Marines and the selfless contributions they made to our country and Marine Corps. The mural ties past and present together to show that we could not be the organization we are today without the path they have paved for us. We look on their service with pride and strive to honor them in the traditions and service we carry on to this day. Please stand by for the unveiling of the mural. In the top right-hand corner, you will see a C-130 jet with the number 16. This portion of the mural memorializes the 15 Marines and 1 sailor we lost on July 10th in an aviation mishap. Sergeant Julian Kevon was a flight engineer from Detroit with 8 years of service in the Marine Corps. He was killed when the C-130 he was flying on went down in Mississippi. He is memorialized by the Marine in the flight suit on the mural. It is an honor for us to have the Kevon family in attendance today, and we are humbled to present his wife Sherry and mother Tina copies of the mural. We are grateful for the Montford Point Detachment 158 for allowing us to paint the mural on their building. At this time, I would like to invite the Commandant of the detachment, Commandant Lamar Harrington, to the podium for remarks.
Marines, welcome to Detroit, Michigan, home of the first American Marines. I'm Commandant Lamar Harrington, and I would like to thank the Marine Corps for choosing Detroit for Marine Week and Detroit for our mural on our detachment. And I saw this mural being made from the early stages, and I saw the artists as they prepared to paint, and it seemed like they were in sequence of each other. And as they were mixing the paint and moving in such a precise way, in every stroke, it seemed to me was love for our first Black American Marines. And as it was taking shape, I was wondering, what song will it sing? Would it be a war song? As I was looking at it, and my mind told me no. It was a love song. It was like the silky voice of a Ronald Isley singing, here I am, and here I'll stay, and I'll always be in love with you. Simplify.
It is our pleasure to be able to conclude today's ceremony with a presentation of the Congressional Gold Medal. Ms. Sharon Stokes joined the National Montford Point Marine Association in 2007 and has served 2 years as the National Resolution Officer. Ms. Stokes will present the Congressional Gold Medal to the family of Private First Class Nobity Giles. His son, Michael Giles, who was a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, will accept the medal on behalf of his family. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Sharon Stokes.
Good morning. I bring greetings to you from the National Montford Point Marine Association, and I am its Central Region Vice President. One of my duties as the Central Region Vice President is to preside over Congressional Gold Medal ceremonies and Certificate of Status awarding to families of deceased and living Montford Pointers, original Montford Pointers, those gentlemen, those brave heroes who we stand on the shoulders of, who served from 1942 to 1949 in a segregated Marine Corps boot camp. So without further ado, it is my pleasure, Mr. Giles, to start this ceremony by reading President Obama's letter to those Montford Point Marines. I send greetings to all honoring the legacy of the Montford Point Marines on their 69th anniversary. Almost 7 decades ago, as our nation was at war, more than 20,000 African American men enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. After completing arduous and segregated basic training at Montford Point Camp, many of these Marines served with distinction during a number of World War II's bloodiest struggles. Some made the ultimate sacrifice in these battles. Others continued their service in Korea and Vietnam. Despite being denied many basic rights, the Montford Point Marines committed to serve our country with selfless patriotism. Choosing to put their lives on the line, these men helped advance civil rights and influence President Harry Truman's decision to desegregate the armed forces in 1948. Embodying the Marine Corps motto of Semper Fidelis, always faithful, these heroes paved the way for future generation of warriors, regardless of background, to serve in the finest military the world has ever seen. On behalf of a grateful nation, I thank you for your service and for your contributions to the cause of freedom at home and around the world. May God bless our men and women in uniform, and may God bless the United States of America. President Barack Obama. Giles family. Senator Stabenow. If you are able, could you please stand for the reading of the certificate? In recognition of honorable service during the period of 1942 to 1949, while promoting peace and stability for the United States of America during World War II, the people of this nation are forever grateful. In a unanimous and bipartisan vote by the members of the 112th Congress of the United States, the Congressional Gold Medal Bill, H.R. 2447, was approved to be awarded to the first African American Marine recruits to enlist and attend boot camp training at the segregated Camp Montford Point, North Carolina. The 27 June 2012 awarding of the Congressional Gold Medal to the Montford Point Marines, a bill, H.R. 2447, was signed by the President of the United States of America, President Barack Obama. The Congressional Gold Medal is the highest civilian honor bestowed by Congress to distinguish achievement, the Montford Point Marines' dedicated contributions of perseverance, courage, and outstanding service on and off the battlefield, has inspired social change in the United States Marine Corps and America. Therefore, be it known that this certificate identifies the recipient as having earned the title Montford Point Marine. His devotion to duty reflects great credit upon himself and was in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service, signed by Mr. Forrest E. Spencer, Jr., National President, Montford Point Marine Association, Incorporated, and Mr. Eric Nelson, National Vice President, Montford Point Marine Association, on 9 September 2017. To Mr. Nobity Giles. posthumously. In addition, it is my honor to bestow this honor on Senator Stabenow to present Mr. Giles with the Congressional Gold Medal posthumously. Thank you all so much. You may be seated.
Well, what can you say behind that? Praise God. First of all, giving honor to God, I want to thank God for making all this possible, because without him it couldn't have happened. Second of all, I want to thank my wife, because she found the paper that got me started to finding the records that Miss Stokes eventually helped get this ceremony together. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Lieutenant General Bailey, who pointed me in the right direction in the first place, and all the other generals. So I want to thank God, I thank my wife and the generals and the whole Marine Corps staff, all the artists, the band, and everybody who's made this possible. Again, from the Bible, I think it's in Romans 13:7, it says, give honor to honor is due. You all deserve honor today for being here, and I thank you for honoring my father. And just want to say thank you, and don't want to end like this. My father's job in the Marine Corps was firefighter, and it's very appropriate because as a Marine, he was a hell raiser. Thank you.
Senator Stabenow, Ms. Stokes, and Giles family, thank you for allowing us to include this momentous ceremony alongside our mural unveiling. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the Marines hymn. This concludes today's ceremony. The mural artist will be available in front of the wall directly following. We hope to see you at our Marine Week events throughout the weekend and hope you have reserved time to visit us tomorrow on the waterfront. Semper Fidelis.